Hi everyone and welcome back to Amplify, a video podcast about usual, unusual people. In today's episode, our guest is an establishment in Brussels. They are veganizing the city, one meat eater at the time. Before getting to the episode, let's first take a look at previously on Amplify.
We decided to nominate or like put in the spotlight Lucifer Leaves Coffee, but we wanted to nominate them because they are really hard worker. They actually had so much troubles to start their company. Like they actually exist for almost 4 years, and they obtained the authorization to open their cafe only last year.
How long does it take to open a coffee place? What do they put in their cakes? And are they really Satanists? About this, without further ado, Lucifer Lives Coffee.
I love your setup. I see some roses. It's very nice. Hi. So let me introduce myself first. My name is Eric. In 2021, I did a project which is called Amplify. And that was more in order to give some visibility to talented people around me, but also to create kind of a chain reaction. So I speak to someone and that person nominates somebody else. So that's how I got to you. Lucifer Lives Coffee.
Yeah.
So excited to know about you. Let's start first of all, where are you right now?
I'm in my apartment in Brussels.
In Brussels.
With my 3 doggos and my 3 cats. My cats are sunbathing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And are you originally from Brussels or no?
I am not originally from Brussels. In fact, it's a big secret, and when everybody knows about it, they're super shocked. But in fact, I am French, but I've been here for 22 years now. So I'm French on paper, but I'm Belgian by heart, as I like to say. So I was born in France, in 𝖚𝖈. It's a little city not far away from Paris. So
I have a couple of different chains where I talk, people amplify each other. And this week, everybody is from France. So like, no, well, actually, no, everybody is French, but living in Brussels. So it's like very, very unusual because I wouldn't expect that. So a lot of French people apparently moved to Brussels, as I understood.
Yeah, it's so beautiful here. So we all come.
What's your relationship with the guys from the Vegan Butcher?
So my relationship with 𝖈𝖔𝖋𝖊𝖗, at the beginning, it was really like a professional relationship because we are all vegan and we have businesses, but now we are great friends. And I'm going to their wedding next week. So I'm very excited. So we've been good friends now since I am invited to the wedding. And yeah, 𝖈𝖔𝖋 is a very great friend of mine. And yeah, this professional stuff really blossom into a nice relationship, and that's pretty nice.
Since how long you've been, can we say being a barista, or how do we say that for?
Well, I am not a barista myself.
Okay.
I am the chef in the kitchen, but my fiancé is the barista. So everybody really has their area, expertise area, I might say. But the way he became a barista, so he was studying photography here in Brussels, and he needed a job, and photography and movies are always his big. We are big fans of movies, as you can see with the cafe and all the but I will talk about that maybe later. But he wanted to have a job, so he just tried into a coffee shop, and then he really got into it. And with the months passing by, he really got very good at it, and he became manager to another coffee shop. So that's how he became the barista. But for me, I'm in the kitchen, and I don't know, just passion, honestly.
And how long you've been passionate about cooking?
Honestly, all my life, because I am very, I don't know what's the word in English, but when you like to eat.
Like foodie?
Yeah, I'm in French, it's very gourmand, I like to eat. So no, I just like to eat, and for me, cooking is like giving love to other people, So if I like you, and if you come at my place and I do a good dish for you, you know that I like you. And yeah, for me, food, it's something super important for me, and I don't know, there is nothing like the feeling of a belly, you know.
Are you vegan the whole life, or is it something that came to you like a couple of years ago?
So it was a couple of years ago. So I've been with my fiancé for almost 8 years now, and we've been vegan for 7 years and a half, something like that. I was not vegan at all. I used to eat a lot of meat. One day I had dinner with a friend of mine, and she was vegan at the time, and I was just curious, so I started to ask her, okay, so the meat I can understand, but why not the dairy and all that stuff? And she started to answer me question, and then, you know, it just planted a seed in my head, and I was like, okay, well, and then I started to do my own research, and then, yeah, you know, we went vegetarian for 6 months, I think, and then we went vegan.
So, do you miss dairy?
No, not at all. Not at all, because there is a lot of option, and honestly, once you know how it's made, it's not worth it. I think it's not worth it. And also, well, I'm not vegan for the health, but plant-based diet is better for the body. If we are thinking in a long terms, you know, it's better for you. And but I do not miss dairy nor like eggs, or not miss it at all. No.
Yeah, because a lot of people, you know, they switch from meat because of the industry and how they behave with the animals. But in the end, in dairy industry, it's just as terrible as in meat industry. So, yeah. Okay, let's go to the project of your cafe. How long do you have it?
So now we are open physically for 2 years. It's going to be a 2 years anniversary, the 19th of August. But the project was really born, I think, like 4 or 5 years back.
Okay.
My fiancé was working into a coffee shop. They were a good customer of his who had a shop in the same street of the coffee shop, a close shop. And one day he came and he was like, okay, so I really like the way that you work. I love your energy. I just love the music that you put and all that stuff. So I have a project idea for you, and I would love to talk you about it. And that's the way it started. It was supposed to open a coffee shop with this man. Well, life happened and it didn't happen, but anyway. Yeah. And at the same time, we became vegan. So I started to do cakes just for me, because I told you I like to eat. So I started to do cakes for me, for my friend. Then some friend of mine, they were like, oh, but there is not a lot of vegan option in Brussels. Your cakes are very good. You should try to sell them. So I started to do little orders just for a few friends of mine. And then we just decided to, you know what, why don't we just go on business together? And we did. So yeah, we quit both our job. They were very well paid. We were both manager. We were not in the same, I was into in a vintage shop. He was working into a coffee shop, but we quit our job and we're like, okay, let's go 100% to that project. And yeah, that's how it started.
Did you ever regret it?
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. I must say that just the few, maybe for like 2 years when we were trying to have our paperwork, all our money, every penny that we won, we had to put it aside, because be your own boss and opening a coffee shop, if you are not coming from a wealthy family, which are not our case, or that you don't know, you know, people in the 𝖈𝖔𝖋𝖋𝖊𝖊, it's very, very hard. So for a few months, I'm not gonna lie, we've been through some rough patch. And we were like, it's very hard, it's very hard. But at the end, I mean, now it's amazing. So no, I do not miss it. And I like to be my own boss, even if it comes with sometimes a lot more stress than being an employee, I must say. But at the same time, you can just express yourself on so many levels. And I don't know, we can have our own policy on so many things.
Yeah. So you basically started established your project just before COVID happened, right?
Yeah, we had a few problems because we were waiting for our paperwork. So it's like urbanism. And it was kind of a battle to have it, but we finally have a paperwork, but we have been waiting for 1 year to have this. So we were paying rent for nothing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it has been quite horrible. Then we finally have our permis d'urbanisme. We start the work with all the ouvriers and all that stuff, and COVID happened. So we had to put everything on pause for 6 months. It was hard for everyone. So it's not, I'm not going to say, I hope I'm not going to sound selfish, but I was like, okay, I'm sad because everything's on pause, but I mean, everybody's on pause. So it's not just me, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Did the government help anyhow?
They helped us, yes, and it was okay for us. I know that some other people, it was not, but for us it was okay because it was only the two of us. But now that I have many employees, I can understand why many people were like, it's not enough, because now I realize, but we were only two at the beginning and we're not open yet. So the I don't know, société was already created, but there were no employee or anything. So they helped us, but it was perfect just to pay the rent, and we were staying at home like everybody else.
Who came up with the name of the place?
That is like the biggest question. You cannot imagine how many times. And also at the beginning when we opened, it was quite a shit show, I must say. It was like, woo, I have to, luckily I have like strong shoulders and like, you know, but so Lucifer lives. So if you know our project and people know us a little bit, I mean, if you ever came or anything, you can see that we are kind of rock and roll.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of horror movie poster, band from the 80s, so Black Sabbath and all that stuff. Lucifer Lives, it's the name of a song of a band of black metal. Yeah, it's just that. Honestly, Lucifer Lives, it was just because with my boyfriend, we're like, okay, so we're gonna be our own bosses. We're gonna do a coffee shop that really, I mean, maybe you can see just, but look, I mean, it's
okay.
Like you are coming into my apartment. It's like we are really like that in the real life.
Yeah, nice. But, it's not pretentious. It's just who you are. So yeah.
Yes, and we really wanted people to just, you know, they come into our cafe, and it's like they come into our home, into our universe. I think life is already so hard every day, and it's sad every day. We have to be serious all the time. I mean, can't we just, you know, do something just for fun? And, you know, I don't know. It just, sometimes people, they ask us really weird questions like, are you guys Satanists? Do you believe in demons and Satan and all that stuff? And we're like, no.
And you say, no. Yes, don't you believe?
Yeah, my fiance was like, yeah, next time I need to say yes just to see their faces.
Just to see the reaction. Yeah. I mean, it's like,
I don't know, you know, like Black Sabbath is a very famous band with Ozzy Osbourne, and they like to talk about demons and Satan, and but it's just for fun, you know. It's like, it's rock and roll. Like, come on, everybody never listen to rock and roll these days, or I don't know.
So now you have your business, you're happy with it, you guys are happy with it, you're cooking very well, because I've been to the place, so I had a couple of cakes and I had the beetroot latte, so I know what's there. But how do you spend your days? Do you have like some kind of a routine? You wake up at 6 a.m., meditate, you go to work, or what do you do?
A classic day for me, because me and my fiance, we don't have the same schedules, because for me, I cook. So the thing that the customer, they don't know, and sometimes that the reason why sometimes I'm feeling kind of sad when we see like, you know, comments like there is not a lot of options, or the kitchen only opens at 10:30 on the weekend, we don't understand. I wake up personally between 5:30 and 6. So every day, even on Sunday, even on Saturday, there is no, okay? Then I wake up, I go into the shower, and I go out with my doggos because I have to take care of them. And then I go to the cafe, and I arrive between 7 and 7:30. And then I start to cook everything fresh of the day, like the pastry, I put them into the oven, the cookies, all that stuff. Of course, we have like a day of mise en place on Thursday, because we are only closed one day of the week, only Monday and Thursday, but I mean, Monday is my only day off. And on Thursday, we do like a mise en place. So we do like a lot of preparation, but only like, you know, it's just organization. It's just, we do like a lot of soup. And every day we have like a bowl for each day of the week, you know what I mean? But every morning I have to come, and all that takes a lot of time. I have to do the quiche, I have to do all the sandwiches, I have to do the soup. We have the plate of the week. We have 4 to 5 cakes. We have 1 cookie. We have the peanut butter cups. We have the pastry, and that's every day. And I'm all alone, or my second chef, she's all alone when I'm not here. And then on the weekend, we have the students to help us. But during the weekend, I don't know if you came during the weekend, but it's kind of metal. There is a lot of people. You have to go very fast, and
the weekend is like it's like really a lot of people.
Yeah. And that's the reason why a few times I saw that you were there on your story, and I was like, oh my god, I cannot even go out of my kitchen. But that's just now my friends and all the people, they know that I'm not trying to be rude. Sometimes I can see friend of mine, like very close friend of mine, they post story like, oh, Lucifer, and I'm like, you were there? Oh yeah, I came for lunch. And I was like, okay. I didn't know.
But it is what it is. I mean, it's your job. If somebody comes to my office and I'm in the meeting, I will not get out of the meeting and say, hi, go take job as job. You spoke about some constructive reviews, that you don't have a lot of assortment there. You spoke about the way you spend normally your days. I think in all this, at some point, anyone can get tired of it. So how do you fight that kind of a mental tiredness, and how do you support and nurture your mental health?
Honestly, for me, that's very interesting that you asked that, because I am trying right now, after 2 years, I'm finally trying to organize my week differently, because to be very honest, and I think it's very important to talk about mental health. For me, I'm really not shy about it. I'm doing okay, but I could be doing better, honestly. So yes, I am very tired. What really makes me feel nice, it's to see a few friends sometimes. So I go to the restaurant a lot with my friends, and but what really makes me feel good, it's when I have a few days off. I'm so tired that I just stay home with my dogs. We have a beautiful garden. When there is the sun, I'm into my hamac with my doggies. And that's just all. But it's true that before I used to go swimming when I had time, before COVID. I'm not a very good swimmer, but it's just for my head. And I would like to go back to that. All my friends, and also Federica, that amplified the Lucifer, she's doing also a lot of sport, because she's also a very busy woman. And she said to me, yeah, if you need to go back to swimming, you should try that. I know that my fiance, for him, because he's not there, but he's part of the so I'm gonna talk for him on that one. He's doing skateboarding.
Oh, okay.
And for him, it's really very important. Even sometimes he's super tired after work, after a weekend shift. So his body, but really helps him, and I'm very happy for him that he found something. And yes, for me, we're gonna see. We are trying to figure out to maybe hire a few more people, but we are still only 2 years, so we have to be very careful, because sometimes people, they're like, oh, it works so much, we're gonna hire, open a second one, and then they burn their
absolutely
their wings. They burn their wings, and I don't want to be part of this person. So I'm gonna take a little bit on myself for a few more months, and we'll see.
I really like giving some example to other people who are watching and listening about that. It's worth it if you follow and do what you really want to do, because you had to quit your job and you had to start doing completely different stuff. Can you please tell me about a moment or a situation or a memory which was like the most amazing for you with your project, with the Lucifer Lives?
Yeah, of course. But opening the place, it was like an out of body experience. I didn't really enjoyed it. I was into my work. People were like, hey, congratulations, are you happy? And I was like this, yes, I am happy, but I was just but no, seriously, to answer your question, I think I'm gonna talk for me, because my fiance doesn't have the same state of mind as me. But for me, also, I would like to add that I am a Capricorn. So what I'm going to say is going to make a lot of sense. But when I won the Vegan Award, it was kind of, for me, very, very, I cried, because I was so happy. I was super in shock. I was like, we won? And then I start crying. Because for me, it's a lot of hard work, a lot of sleepless nights, very long shift. You know, people sometimes they see only like the food into the plate. But when you look at the plate, there is the food, you have to cook it, but you have to buy it, you have to make the orders, you have to make the recipe, you have to always have your brain working all the time. So for me, yes, when I won the vegan award, it was something very important for me, and it really helped me. And I had like I don't know, I feel good about myself because I still have like the imposter syndrome a little bit, still a little bit there. And sometimes I think like everybody, I doubt myself, and I think it's kind of healthy in a way, because if you are too sure of yourself, then you're never going to learn of your mistake or anything. But I remember that at the beginning of the project, we, with our name, with our aesthetic and all that stuff, we had some pretty mean comments even before we opened, or even old friends of ours. They were not really supportive. They were making jokes. It is what it is. I believe in karma. I think karma always does the thing right if you have your heart in the good place. And I stayed focused, and I did it. So yeah, for me, that was the highlight. For the moment, I hope I'm gonna have a few more highlights with the years, but yes.
Congratulations on making Brussels vegan, because I think it's very important. And I see that more and more we have more vegan places, and it's kind of cute because people who never thought about going vegan, they start digging about it, they start being interested. And if you can at least kind of interest one person to go vegan, I think you already did a great job.
Some people, they think that, and I completely respect that, by the way, but some people, they think that being vegan, you have to be extremely healthy. Well, my main goal for me is to really recreate the taste of egg, recreate the taste of tuna with chickpea, because for me, I want to attract people. And sometimes meat eaters, they are not all of them, of course, but I mean, some, they are really blocked and they don't want to, they hear the word vegan and they're like, oh no, I don't want to eat herb, or okay. But it's true that we have a lot of meat eaters at Lucifer, and they're always super happy. So for me, that's already a win.
Where do you get the inspiration from? Is there someone who inspires you, or something that inspires you?
Well, I love food, and also, like I told you at the beginning of the interview, I really love to eat. I was a big meat eater, cheese eater when I was younger, before going vegan. So for me, I don't miss dairy or meat, but I just miss the dishes. And for me, I think it's possible to recreate stuff. So that's how I get my main inspiration, and I really like to challenge myself, like a lot. Right now, I cannot tell you what I'm working on, but I'm working on something, and boy, oh boy, I'm not gonna stop until I realize it. But yeah.
Because that's what I wanted to ask, like, what's next for you? So I understand you're happy with your project. I know that you just say that you're not going to, open second restaurant immediately because you want to have a chain, etc. You prefer to keep it more like healthy also for yourself. But what are you going to do next?
So I have a few projects, but I don't want to talk about it because I really believe I don't know. I believe that if you put some stuff out there into the universe, sometimes the universe can hear you, but not in a good way. So, but I have a few projects which are not coffee related, by the way, but it's connected to the food. And but what I can say to you about Lucifer, we're gonna keep it to this particular project. So we have started to do a little bit more of movie nights.
Yeah, that was my other question.
Nice. So we do movie night. For the moment, we already have done 3. We're gonna do also I don't know if you know Machete, this movie.
Yeah. The Mexican.
Yes, School of Rock with Jack Black and all that stuff. We're gonna have more fun. We're gonna start also to do concert soon. And yeah.
In your place.
In our place, yeah. Tiny little concert, yeah.
There is some kind of intimacy in it when you go to a concert, and there are it's a small place, and you have like an acoustic setup, and there is a lot of
Exactly.
intimacy in it, and I really appreciate it.
And that's funny that you say that, because at the beginning we did like our first movie night, and we received so many mails, but they were like, I think 35 or 40 people there, and that was too much for me because I was all alone to cook for everybody. Well, my second was there, but we were only two, but it was too much. So now we have decided when we do movie night, it's like maximum 15 people, which is great because you know why? Now we get to eat with the customer.
Yeah.
We can talk with them. At the end of the movie, we all talk together about what we saw. And it's very, like you said, very like intimate, and it's very nice because, you know, you talked about the mental health and, you know, the fatigue and all that stuff. And at the beginning, when we opened this place, we're like, okay, we're going to do the decoration the way that we like it. We're going to put the music that we like, and people love it, which is great. But at a certain point, well, last summer, I had like a little mental breakdown. I had like eczema on my body. I lost some weight. I was like, okay, so even when I do like the movie night, there is too many people. So I have to do the day shift, which is very hard. And then I have to directly do the night shift with the movie night. And I don't even had a chance to have a beer with my customer. I don't even have like a moment to talk about them. And so now we have changed a little bit our point of view. And I'm getting more happier and happier with the months. So yeah.
If I want to come if anyone wants to come for movie night, do we need to book or how?
Yes, so we always make like a little post on Instagram, and you have to send a mail on Lucifer Lives, and you say movie night, we'd like to be 4 people. Then I respond, and I say, okay, you have to give that much amount on the Lucifer bank account, and then it's done. And I always post the menu, and you always have the movie, 1 drink. You can have like a cava, a glass of wine, a beer, whatever you want, a 𝖈𝖔𝖋𝖊𝖊. Then you have a little entrée, a little plate, and at the end I always do like a little dessert to eat in front of the movie. And it's so funny because I did like caramel popcorn, and last time I did 3 little cakes, and people, they were so cute. They were like, oh my god, I really feel at home. And they were like this eating it was like a customer said, oh, it looks like a slumber party. I was like, great, that's the mood that I want.
Awesome.
So,
but that sounds so like home. So who wouldn't want to do with it? So of course you have to limit the people who come. So I saw you touching wood, which the pattern goes. I'm from Ukraine. In Ukraine, we knock on the wood, and which leads me to the fact that you did Bake for Ukraine event. Can you please tell me how did it go? Where, if you could, where did you donate the funds, and how much?
Okay, so we cooked for Ukraine, and it was going very, very well. Honestly, when all of this happened, it was it was super sad. I mean, it's still very sad. I follow all the pages, and I'm like, yeah, it's horrible. And I'm very sensitive people, so we did that for other stuff, for like the animals, every time we can, because we are still a business. So of course we cannot give money all the time, but when we can, we try to raise money. So we give the money. We had like a few, how do you say, organization, but then we decided, so we give, if I remember correctly, it was 4 or 500 to Croix-Rouge, and 4 or 500 to like it's a little refuge for animal in Ukraine.
Okay.
Because we also think of the animals, and they don't have anything. They are there. There is a lot of people because they had to flee, which I can understand in a way. But for me, if I have to flee the war, I prefer to leave everything and take my dog. The little refuge, they have to take care of the animal. They have been left there by the old parents, like the parents. And and also there is some animal who are hurt. So yeah, it was not a lot of, it was not a lot of money. I think that for a little cafe, 800 is still very nice, but people were super, super into it. So I received message like, I want to buy a box of 25. But I was like, okay, so at the end, it's like a 300 cookie per day. And I'm like, never, I'm all alone. I cannot do it.
Everything. You have to do everything with your hands. It's not a mass production in the supermarket.
Exactly. So I said to people, I said, thank you so much, but you can, if you really want to help, then you can just give the money yourself. But I cannot do it. I've just tried. But many people, they just came because, you know, I think also we have a lot of students and we have a lot of people who are not like wealthy, very wealthy.
Yeah.
They just came to buy one cookie. And for me, I think it's better to, even if you don't have a lot of money, you just came for one cookie. You treat yourself, but you can say that you didn't stay without doing nothing, you know?
Yeah. What advice do you have for someone who wants to start a business?
Okay, for someone who would like to start a business, to quit their job, to really follow their dream, I must say that it's not always easy, but if you really like believe in it, you have to believe in yourself. Only you can know really what you need and if it's gonna work. Of course, you can listen to your family, to your close friend. You don't have just to go, no, it's gonna work. Maybe your loved one, they can really say, okay, now slow down. But I think that if you really believe that it's gonna work and that you believe in yourself, do it. Because personally with Lucifer, we had a few, no banks wanted to help us because they didn't understand. They were like, okay, so honestly, we had like appointments in banks and all that stuff. And so me and my fiancé were arriving the way that we are with a lot of tattoos. And you can see on their faces that they're like, oh, hello, you know, you can see that they're, I don't know, not close-minded, but it's always like, I think for them, maybe if they don't do it on purpose, they always have like the préjugés. But we went to the bank and people, they didn't understand. They were like, okay, so you want to open a vegan cafe? Okay. With the name Lucifer Lives? Okay. And then there's a mood board with like the heavy metal stuff and the 80s vibe and all that stuff. And they were like, okay, but we don't get it. What's the connection between all of this? And we were just like, well, there is not really a connection. We just want to open a vegan cafe and all that stuff anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to deal with so many closed doors, but we kept on going. People really believe in themselves. They really have to go for it. But it's going to take, listen to me if you are watching me, somebody who needs to hear that. It's going to take a lot of time. You're going to have to sacrifice a lot. Or if you are rich, well, if you are rich, good for you. But if you are not rich, you're going to have to sacrifice a lot. You have to stay focused. Because, you know, the progression is not like this, and the progression is like this, and sometimes like this, and like this. It's very, very hard. You have to stay focused. And Rome has not been done in one night, okay? Yeah. So, yeah, believe in yourself. It's going to be a long and hard patch, but...
it's worth it.
When you are like on top, I mean, not on top of everyone, but when you are at the end of the climb, it's kind of amazing, you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh, so let's go to the trademark question. Who do you want to amplify?
So I would like to amplify one of my dear friends. His Instagram is 𝖈𝖔𝖋𝖋𝖊𝖊. And he's a designer.
Oh my God. I know him. Yeah, I didn't know that you were friends. Yeah, I know him.
Matteo? Okay. Yeah. He's going to do my wedding dress.
Yeah,
so and I would like to amplify him. And okay. Yeah, I'm not saying that because he's my friend, but I think Matteo is a rising star into the mode industry and the designer industry. Honestly, is super talented, and I think his vision on everything is like never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Like Lady Gaga, never seen before. Show stopping, amazing.
Like because last year he dressed the mannequin piece. I'm very surprised right now because I see how, you know, it goes. So I had an interview with Eleanor from the vegan festival, Brussels Vegan Festival. Then she amplified the vegan butcher, and then they amplified you, and you amplified Matteo. So it's like, really, I know, like it goes back to the person. So
Brussels is like a little village, like we say, and everybody's connected. Also, which is very funny, you amplified Elliot.
Yeah,
it's gonna come out on Friday. Well, I used to work in the cabaret with him.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and also 𝖈𝖔𝖋𝖊𝖊. I also used to work with them on cabaret also.
Wow. Well, this is awesome. Morgan, thank you very much for your time. So let's just say, where can we find you?
So my cafe is Rue Haute-120 in Brussels, in the neighborhood of the Marolles, which is one of the oldest neighborhood in Brussels, and it's very charming. It's a very eclectic neighborhood. It's very progressist. I love it that it's very intersectional. It's awesome. And you can find me there, and you can also find me mainly on Instagram, because that's where I post everything. Like I told into the interview, I'm in the kitchen most of the time and I only have 2 hands. So I cannot do everything, but mainly on Instagram. If you really want to miss nothing of the menu and the event, you have to check there.
Yeah. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure talking to you today. I come over for coffee sometimes.
And now I will try to do like this behind my little wall of the kitchen.
Yeah.
People only see my eyes and my little pompon like this.
Pompon. Thank you so much. You're a really positive person, and I love it. See you in Lucifer Lives Coffee.
Thank you very much, guys, for streaming the episode. Let's grab a coffee at Lucifer Lives Coffee. And as usual, at the end of every episode, I put a soundtrack by an unsigned artist. And today's musician is Hunter Reese, who will be also a guest on Amplify very soon, and his song Montreal.
Who do you call? Who do you turn to in the night? I wanna know. When your mind ain't sitting right, will I find that blue or gold? At the mall we hit up north. Who do you call? Yeah. The hope was never lost on us. Might be the one thing we picked up. The nights we spent with a song and a drink, I think I can move on. I've been keeping a safe distance from. When you're around, I can't hold my tongue. Still trying to fool myself and everyone, but I'm here, lost in your space. Who do you call? Who do you turn to in the night? I wanna know. When your mind ain't sitting right, will I find a blue cord? At the mall we hit up north. Who do you call? When I'm not in Montreal. You held me up when my head was hard to hold. The lake we swam in, it turned right back to stone. We haven't been the same kids from the block. I lost your Game Boy and you never forgot. Who do you call? Who do you turn to in the night? I wanna know. When your mind ain't sitting right, will I find a blue accord? At the mall we hit up north. Who do you